So as I had mentioned in the last slide or two, this was coming to a head during World War One. And so I want to just take a minute to talk about World War One. I'm assuming you've studied it last year. We're not going to get into the details of who, when, and why, but well, maybe the when and the who, but not so much the why. So World War One, which was called the Great War during the time it took place, which started in 1914 and ended in 1919, was a war between the Allies and the Central Powers. And the Allies are France, and Britain primarily, versus the Central Powers, which were Germany, Austria Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire primarily. There's others that came into play. I'll mention Russia and the US right now. So Russia originally joined France and Britain. Russia left in 1917 because of the Russian Revolution. They overthrew the monarchy and became a communist nation at that time. They renamed themselves the Soviet Union. They pulled out of the war, which was very unpopular at the time anyway. And the U.S. kind of took Russia's place, if you will, and entered in 1917 after, if you may remember, they discovered that Germany was targeting cruise ships that were carrying American citizens, and Germany was kind of trying to they were doing some dirty tricks that the United States wasn't happy with. So the United States got pulled into the war, even though at first they didn't really want to get into the war. This is a very European war, and it's very complex, the reasons why it started. We're not really going to get into that, but let's just say that Germany was seen as the aggressor in trying to push some other groups into war over borders and things like that. So I really want to point out to you here that the Ottoman Empire is the modern day Middle East. So with the exception of Persia and a little bit of the Arabian Peninsula, the Ottoman Empire controls what we mostly are studying as the Middle East, including Iraq, Iran, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Turkey, and things like that. So when the Ottoman Empire, when the Allies defeated the Central Powers, all of these empires, Germany stayed intact but was severely punished. The Hungarian Empire fell apart and was broken into pieces into smaller nations such as Austria and Hungary, which are two nations that still exist today. The Ottoman Empire completely fell apart, mostly became Turkey, and then was broken up in other ways, which we'll discuss. So, and I'm not going to talk about Bulgaria. So this was a war that really reshaped elements of Europe, and we're not really going to get into it right now, but did end up leading to World War II, pretty much directly from the outcome of World War One. So it's really the World War One fallout of the Ottoman Empire that led to the shaping of the modern Middle East boundaries, in particular, kind of some of the issues that happened in Israel and Palestine since then.